Good afternoon, everybody. Me and the dog, it's just us today. We're just in one of our favourite places, in one of the callers in the village, of which I moved to 4-5 years ago, I think it was. Just gathering some thoughts, really. Taking some time out to think about the future. This space is probably one of my best spots in the place where I live. It's always free, there's no one here, the dog loves it, we can swim, we can snorkel. It gets a bit busier in summer, but generally it's the space where I've found a lot of peace and quiet. It's just a very special little place, and the dog loves it. She's been swimming. So yeah, I've been building a Spanish company for the last nearly a year now. Last June. Spent most of my life in digital marketing, websites, SEO, marketing and stuff like that, and kind of fancy the change. Still got some clients, don't get me wrong. I'm still working with a few people that I really love working for. I enjoy it. It doesn't feel like a job, to be honest. Challenge, you get a few challenges now and again, but thanks to the sort of many years of experience I've got, like, problem solving for me is like, I love it. But yeah, so anyway, back to the company. It's grown. I've onboarded brands that I would never have dreamt of onboarding. Got off to a really good start. Built some really cool things in the back end. Done a lot of custom development work, all with the help of coding agents and things like that. Not really needed to actually hire anybody. Done everything sort of between myself and using certain tools and whatnot. So but it's been a massive challenge. It's probably been the biggest challenge of my life. I always had a business partner before, always had a team, and there were just things that I just couldn't do, so I always hired people. And for me, this time around, it's been about doing something on my own. So I've got full control. I don't have to have any arguments with anyone about sort of direction or whatever. I'm following my gut, I'm following my heart, and I'm just doing everything that I feel is right. And don't get me wrong, I've made some bad decisions, I've made some very bad decisions, but I've made a lot of right decisions as well. I've made a lot of really good decisions. So things are going okay. I'm in a market that is very challenging, it's very competitive, but I'm also in a country that is a little bit behind in terms of mindset and technology and ability, in comparison to like building a business in England or in the States or whatnot. Spain's a very unusual space, and not to mention the bureaucracy, setting up the company, the tax, the accounting side of things. Like, everything's got a complication with it, and like, people say that this is not the place for an entrepreneur, and it's not, to be honest, it's not. And I think when things get to a specific point, I'm going to be faced with a decision as to like where to take it. As in, is Spain the right place for the business to be registered? Probably not. In terms of what I've built and what the possibilities are for the Spanish dog owner market, like for people that own dogs, like, what I've built is fantastic and people love it. The infrastructure behind it, in terms of like the supply chain and whatnot, in terms of the Spanish supply chain and the mindset of the Spanish brands, is like, it's an unusual one. I've never felt resistance like I have felt in the last 12 months. And don't get me wrong, like, we've onboarded some incredible brands, but those that have not come on board, and the reasons they've not come on board, for me, like, as a business, if I had that mindset, I would be like, I'd be worried. And a lot of it is around on internet and internet retail. And Spain's still catching up, but I still pretty much feel like I'm in startup stage. I've been very quiet about it, to be honest. Normally, I would have been screaming from the rooftops about what I'm doing. And to be fair, I don't see any point in doing that. What I'm building is being shared with brands, manufacturers, distributors, and obviously I'm starting to sort of market it to the consumers, the dog owners. and it's very slow. I must say it's slow. People are, I think, hesitant to trust new brands. You've got 2 or 3 major big players in Spain in this specific niche that I'm in, but in terms of what they offer online, the variety, the experience, the focus on a specific area of the niche, like, I'm the only one in that space, and I think I'm doing something extremely unique. So as much confidence as I've got, I'm very much like, I've been speaking to sort of my girlfriend this morning about it. There's an element of like working on short-term stuff, but always looking at the bigger picture and like focusing on the long-term stuff. And maybe some of you guys can relate to when you're building a new business. There's always that pressure in the back of your mind that you need to get traction, and traction is income and profit. And obviously a lot of businesses don't start to see income or don't start to see profit for months, sometimes for a year, for a couple of years, depending on what you're doing. And sometimes it's like, it's hard to have patience whilst you're waiting for that to happen. And I'm sure a lot of people that are in this space as well have probably been in the same mindset. How long do you give something before you think, you know what, this is not working? I knew it was working in the first 3 or 4 months of it being launched. But then I think sometimes you can get a little bit impatient. You can start to sort of, and I think I've always done this, is imagining 3, 4, 5 years ahead and trying to sort of see where's it going to end up, where would you like to see it. Do you measure your success with how much money you've made, how many brands you've got on board, how much free time you've got? Because for me, success used to be measured by the money in the bank, and obviously now for me it's like I've got to sort of redefine what success means. Success is not always about the financial side of things. What I don't want to do again is spend many years building a business that feels like a prison, that's always going to need my time, my input, staff, employees, blah blah blah. Something that's going to sort of give me the balance of a good income, good profit, something that can one day be sold, but also give me the time to come and sit on the rocks overlooking the sea with the dog. Been glued to the computer all hours since last June, since last summer, and it's been a struggle, to be honest. I've had to learn so many more things that I've never done before, that I said I would never do, and you know, and in my defence, I'm glad that I've learnt them things, because I think now at 42 I have an understanding of every single aspect of a business across everything: sales, the marketing, the accounting, the development, absolutely everything, so that I can sort of manage it. And of course what we've now got is AI agent systems, which hopefully in the future I can start to, you know, use to help and assist with other things, content production, social media and things like that. But I think, you know, anyone in my shoes, an entrepreneur working on their own, no team, no staff, no business partner, you're going to experience the same things. You're going to have days where you're just that stressed out because you're not there yet. But then I have days like today where I'm like, I'm already where I need to be. I've got the freedom to just come out of the house for 2 or 3 hours, go to the beach, go and have a swim, spend time doing what I want to do. I've not got a boss. So in terms of like the days where I'm not feeling successful or that I've made it, I kind of have. And I've just got to keep reminding myself that things take time, and building a business takes time. I've always played the long game. I've always sort of, you know, held on and just said to myself, things are going to take time. I've got the freedom that many others haven't got. They haven't chosen to seek out what else there is out there, you know, what kind of life there is, because there's other ways to live, not driving to an office every day, being at work stupid hours. There's an aspect of running your own business that is, you're probably putting a lot more hours for yourself than you would for other people. And for me, there's been many times where I'll have a blast at something, I'll spend 4 weeks hitting it hard, working till early hours of the morning, and then I'll just take a week where I'm not doing anything. I want to be able to either keep the businesses with the recurring income, and obviously have them managed or ran in a way that isn't taking up as much time, or I sell them. Someone approaches me and they buy them, which for me would be great. I would love to sell what I'm building in a few years, maybe within 5 years. So, you know, a message for you guys as well, like, don't always focus on the short-term stuff. Is what you're building sellable? Is it going to give you an income for the rest of your life, or is it going to fade out in a few years and you're going to have to find something else? And I think that's the thing I'm seeing now, or a lot of people are building things, digital products, apps, software, but a lot of them are sort of one-hit wonders. And I mean, some of them, to be fair, have already died. They've made a few quid, but they've gone to the wall. What's the long-term goal? Is it going to give you the life that you really want? Is it going to keep you tied to your office or your computer for too many years? Are you going to have a leisurely life at the side of that? Are you going to be able to focus on your mind and body at the same time? Is it going to drown you in responsibility and stress? Is there any financial risk? Everything I've ever done, I've taken some big risks. If you're building something, you really need to think about what you're doing it for and why, and where's it going to lead. I started a business in my early 20s. That business suddenly became 15 years old, but I was no further along in life, really. I wasn't in the best physical, mental state, didn't really have an end goal, didn't have an exit strategy. Time wasn't wasted, it wasn't wasted at all. I do not want to repeat that. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end the video there. I think I'm going to continue walking around the edge of this coastline and get back and have a little bit more time, get some lunch. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.